G'day folks, welcome to Big V TV. Great to have you with us pre-season, talking about all the clubs, all 43, 44, how many clubs?
129 teams.
40 plus.
Yes.
43.
43, is
It's
it?
funny we know how many teams.
Well, this time we're heading
You
out.
got your list, Beth, if you just... No,
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Just give me
We're heading out to the swamp, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Home of the Gators.
Warren Dog... Oh, the Altona... The Altona Gators.
Yeah, heading out to the Gators, and they've had some success over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They've got 4 teams on the floor, but another team that we could be seeing in a fair bit of transition this year. Things have changed dramatically.
We'll get there.
especially in the women's program.
Yes,
Lots
well,
of change.
let's start off with the women's program. The youth women finished up on top last season with a 17-1 record.
On top of Youth League 1.
Yeah, couldn't go all the way.
Yeah.
Couldn't finish it
Or
off.
State Youth. What did we call it last year?
State
State Youth Championship.
Oh, don't confuse me.
Oh, 2. There you
Don't
go.
confuse me.
Yeah.
Look, they
Struggle with it all year.
They were very, very good last season, that 17-1 record. As we said, they couldn't cap it off. We're going to see a different team on the floor, though, this season, because a lot of these players will be moving up to their Division 1 team.
Yes.
There's been an exodus there. So we're going to see a lot of new players coming in, obviously up through the juniors.
I'm not worried though. They've got some really good kids coming through.
Certainly do.
They may be a little bit lean this year, I think. You know, they came in, they blazed the division apart with, you know, being up in that top 4 the whole season.
Oh, great.
But I reckon they'll be okay. But it definitely
Let's have a look. The first season Altona come in maybe back in 2010, 2011, I'm not sure, at the youth women's level. They only won 2 games for the year. And you know, in the couple of years they've been there, they've improved dramatically. So those kids have done really well. They've made that grand final. They're now transitioning them in and bringing the next lot of kids through. So, you know, that's a good thing.
It is.
They were a little bit of an older youth team, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like they had a good mix of
They had that mature
22-year-olds. Yeah.
Yep.
And that definitely helped them. So this season, what can we expect? Where do we think they're going to be? There's going to be a lot of new
Pin
faces.
the tail on the donkey,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
It's
Where's
all over the
donkey?
shop.
Who's the donkey,
You.
by the way? Yeah.
But yeah, look, you know, it depends how many of their youth girls from last season, if they were a bit more mature, will they go up into their senior team that, you know, there might be a need there for some players, some bodies.
I don't think they'll have a 17-1 record.
No,
Oh, no,
certainly
no,
not. I don't. Yeah, they'll certainly drop off. Whether the drop off will be significant enough to kick them out of finals, I'm not sure. Probably.
Well, we're going to have to put a tip in here. Finals, Beth, yes or no?
Oh, I have a feeling they might just miss out.
No.
I'm going with a no.
No.
I don't think so.
It's pretty rough to give a team that 17-1 last season in a similar comp to say that they're not going to make it, but yeah,
We know
it's
they're
going to be. We know they're going to. Yeah, it's going to be different.
Div 1 women last season finished 3rd in their conference, bowed out in the finals, 14-5 record, and from memory, including the finals, I think they lost their last 4 games of the season, including finals.
Yep.
They really tailed off in that last month.
Well, who are their best 3 players from last season? Go.
We've got
Ardossi.
Yep. Bridget Ardossi, gone. Louise Johnson,
Gone.
Probably Emma Coyne as a ball carrier,
And she is
gone to Werribee.
Sharon Gray.
Sharon Grieve has retired from all reports, isn't playing.
Yep.
It's a total turnover.
It is.
Yeah.
Nicole McMahon's gone to Whittlesea.
Right.
It is a total turnover. In fact, I think I heard somewhere in the last couple of weeks that maybe 2 players maximum remaining from that team.
2 or 3.
Skeleton. Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of the youth players come up into that team. I don't know that they've done a heck of a lot of recruiting. Randy Shanklin is coaching the team. He had the youth girls
He did
last
did a
season.
great job with them.
So it'll be players
So
that
a
he's
lot of
worked
those
with.
girls are going to get that continuity of having Randy as the
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, that's always helpful.
Perform well in youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Ball
That's-
goes in as the youth coach, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
which is
a pick up as well,
we should have made mention of it, but yeah.
I think it's possibly more a Div 2 side, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think if they were in Div 2,
They'd be okay.
yeah, they'd be more than competitive.
Yeah.
But
It's a year of
the-
transition.
It is. It's going to be a tough year for them.
And we should just say, Ardossi, Johnston, Coyne, Grieve, a few others, we're not talking about inexperienced players just moving. I mean, they leave a hole.
Oh,
They
yeah.
leave a big gap. There's no doubt about that.
If you were at the Gators, or if you were Randy Shanklin, rather, would you be on the phone to Stacey Buzz at college and putting in a call and see if they'd let her off early and let her leave late?
I think it's worth a call.
I reckon it's what they called it. What are they called?
The Vandals.
The Vandals.
The Idaho Vandals.
Yeah.
I reckon it's worth a call. But I don't think you got any hope in hell, Randy, because I don't think they'll be giving her up in a hurry. And, you know, a lot we've said in other shows too, if you're in college and you come back for that 6-week break, take a rest. Yeah. It's not worth injury and all that sort of stuff. So, and she's doing very well, by the way, Stacey. But finals, yes or no?
No, because let's not forget how Altona got here. We won't go back into history too much, but really it was half of another team that walked away, and you know they were elevated to this position on the back of that, and rightly so because their roster was too strong.
Yeah.
But now that those girls that don't necessarily have an alliance to Altona have left, it's time for the next generation to come through. It'll be a lean year, but good on them.
Yeah, they've
So
got to
a
build
miss.
that sustainability there.
A miss?
Yeah.
Also worth noting, we talked about those players, Grieve, Coyne, Ardossi and Johnson. They actually didn't win the title last year with those players.
That's true.
I think they'll miss as well. Youth men finished 5th last season, 15 and 7. They were good.
Yeah.
They were really good.
They started off well. I think they started a few weeks starting up the top kind of thing, and they were one of those teams that no one wanted to come up against.
Yeah.
And then I think as the season progressed, the likes of McKinnon, Western Port, Blackburn, they all pushed ahead and they kind of fell a little bit.
The Zone Masters, were they the Zone? Was this the year of the Zone Master? Was that the year
2010.
Yeah, that's right.
When they
11. Oh yes.
Yep.
Yep.
They had the league in the thing as well, didn't they?
They did.
Yep. Doing well.
Give me a sec.
I got
it. I'll get it.
Sorry.
And I think a fair level of respect there as well for a lot of these kids that are coming through the program.
Yeah.
So, what can we expect this season from the youth men?
Look, it's a tough competition with the restructure in the youth competition. We're going to have the bottom 14 or the bottom 3 teams from state youth championship along with Bendigo coming into this group. So in theory, if they're 5th, you would expect them to be down towards the tail end of the ladder. But as they proved last year, this is a tough group, and if they're sort of similar to the team that they were this season, they might be able to knock off some of their more fancied opponents.
The finals?
Probably not.
I think they just miss. I've got no idea what I'm talking about, but I think they just miss.
I reckon she's going to say yes.
Beth does this, she'll go, yeah, I reckon they will.
They might, just hoping.
So is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the word "might" is banned when we.
It is.
Sorry.
Not allowed.
So yes.
Yeah.
No, just missing.
He's still trying to come up with the
Don't worry
answers.
about that. In or
No,
out.
it's really important. They're out. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of that.
D1 men, we had a lot of fun talking about the D1 men last season, especially on Sundays. We had a great time talking about the Gators. 6 and 16, they finished 8th. 6 and 16. I reckon all of those 6 wins, or certainly from memory, 5 of those 6 wins
All
came
on
on
a
a Sunday.
Did not want to play Altona.
This was a team last season. They would come out on a Saturday night and be horrible.
I don't think any of them go out.
They would be horrible. They'd come out on the Sunday against a team.
They're in bed by 9:30 on Saturday night.
Well, they
So
must be. They'd come out against a team on a Sunday, clearly ranked ahead of them,
Yeah.
and they'd come out and beat them.
Well, have a look. They went down to Traralgon. They beat Latrobe City at Latrobe City. No one would have picked that in a million years, and that kept the energy for making the finals.
Yeah.
So, you know, on their day and when they put it together, they were all right. They were a lot better than their record suggested.
Well, they had a shot to win it on the buzzer against us. It was on a Sunday, so that's why it was so tough.
No, they got you to take the shot for them.
I got it. No, I kept doing the game with some missed free throws, I think.
I think.
Scott Drysdale.
Yay!
What was that for?
As a youth MVP.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Callum's just joined us.
That was a fair effort.
Yeah, I knew it was there.
D1 men's going to be tough. They're in that conference over the other side, the Western Conference, so to speak. I still think they can be competitive. I think that they can cause some upsets along the way.
Yes.
But I don't know that they're going to be too much different to last season,
No.
if that makes sense. I don't think they're going to finish 8th.
Yeah.
In that group over there, I don't think they're going to finish 8th.
Well, you can lock in Melbourne Uni, Whittlesea, and Mildura maybe, and Geelong as your
yeah.
finals,
Yeah.
and then them and Sunbury. I think.
I don't think they'll be finishing last.
No, they won't finish last.
No.
I think they're going to be probably 6th, 5th, 6th.
Yep.
Yeah.
About pretty similar to where they were this
And
year.
you know what, they
Okay,
do.
so
They've got a lot
Yep.
of players in that team that were in their 2010 Youth 2 Men's Champions team, so they have stuck with a lot of those young players coming through. So if they can jump up to sort of 5th or 6th, you know, from 7th or 8th, and then the next year they've
Yep.
timed themselves for
Yep.
a run at finals with a group of Altona kids.
Yeah, Nathan Wapshot, Sean Fallon, those guys
That's
are
right,
going to be
Brian.
getting
So,
better and better.
Yeah.
That's it, just stay at it, and I think they're going to end up a pretty good
Yeah,
Div 1
yeah.
side in the next few years.
Are we potentially talking about a situation, believe it or not, with Altona where none of their 4 teams make the finals this season?
There's potential
Well,
there for it.
Best tip the youth men will make it.
Yeah, I have a feeling I've got like 6 or 7 teams that are in finals with that comp.
Realistically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's for future growth.
They're moving in the right direction.
Certainly on the women's side, it's a transition.
Bit of a reset.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So there's the Gators out there at Altona.
Get down
We
and watch them.
wish
Yeah.
them and all their fans the very best down at the Swamp. Altona this time. Which club's up next as we count down the days to the start of the 2013 season?